Okay, who's going to kick it off? Good morning, everybody.
There we go. Good morning. Good morning. We're here. Oh, look at you with your fancy coffee cup too.
Hey,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Cheers.
I can give you one of those too if you want one.
No, I like this. The only thing I don't like about this one is it's a little small, bro. But I still love it.
No, all your campfire mugs are typically that.
Well, I'm not in a fucking campfire, am I? I'm in my office, and I need 24 ounces of coffee at a time.
Well, you know what? The more you put in it, the colder it's gonna get quicker.
Yeah,
dummy.
that's true. Yeah. Okay, maybe. All right. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get to the show. It's going to be a wild ride as always. Go fill your cups up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after these intros.
So it's good morning, everybody. Who?
What?
No one's going to say good morning back to you, Spencer. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. Good morning, Jimmy. Hello,
Father, Brother Jeff.
Good morning, all.
I know. I was about to say, hey, look, we have got to take some time and show some attention to the mythical Bill Robinson. You swear that he's fake, that he's AI. You're not sure he exists because you see him all online, but you never see his face really. So you know what I mean? It's all AI Bill. Bill, man, what is
pinch him?
What's up, Bill? It's good to see you, brother, man.
You as well. I was glad to catch part of the show yesterday. Unfortunately, I had a call, so I couldn't listen to all 50 years of Jeff's history yesterday as he was going through it. You know, I did. I'm fortunate enough to have known Jeff for 3 years, so I know the history. And of course, he will always tease that I helped build the pyramids with him. So we're good. I wish I could have stayed to hear the rest on the FFTF that I know is progressing very nicely with all the group and everything else and doing some great things.
I appreciate you, Bill. Thank you.
Well, Bill, since we only got you for a short time, how have you been, man? What's going on? Did you get a new office, or are you just at the house, or what?
No, actually, so we were fortunate enough that we've taken on an additional 450,000 square feet of food-grade warehousing space just north of us in our old corporate office. So with restructuring and doing things, our assets have all been moved up to that yard. And, you know, they moved me from upstairs to downstairs with sales and marketing now at this point. Apparently I'm a sales guy. And at the same time, I just haven't put anything back up in the office. And even our CEO came by the other day and asked me when I'm moving in.
Nice.
As soon as I get time, of course, I'll worry about decorating the white walls around me. But for now, it's been busy. So I've been fortunate enough to be busy. We've had some great opportunities coming at us and some good growth as a company, which in this current market is obviously a positive for us.
Heck yeah, it is, broski.
That's
good,
Bill, now, Bill, where are you located?
So I'm in Ontario, Canada, Spence.
Okay,
and
yeah.
When you look at it, I'm probably, if there's no traffic, which never happens in our city, I can get to Toronto in just about 55 minutes, under an hour.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Windsor in my previous life, but
so if you look at it from Windsor, we're about probably about just over an hour and a half from Windsor coming in towards us towards GTA.
Are you right off the 401?
Yes, in this case, we're right off the 401. When you come into Guelph, there's two interchanges. We're on the 6 South 6 Rock Road one.
Yep.
So we have a corporate office here. We have a warehouse just north of us on the same road. And then we have a warehouse in Cambridge and one in Brantford. So we have about 650,000 square feet total now.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, when I started my trucking company back in 1996, it was started as a medical courier company. And then around 2000, started kind of migrating into the over-the-road expedites. And my first customer, the first expedite we ever pulled was for TST Expedite up in Canada.
Oh, that does go back, because now TST, of course, is part of the the TFI International Group or Transports International.
Yeah.
And they're our largest carrier in Canada, but they've also, I think they've moved up into the top 5, even in the U.S. now, with acquisitions they've done down there with Conway and some of the XPO acquisitions.
Yeah, that's back in the days when actually that's when Stu Sutton was still there. Now he's gone on to start Expedite TMS software. Him and Ed, and then the guy that kind of ran TST back in that day. You may never heard the name Steve Wavon.
That goes back, yes. I don't know him personally, but I have met him once with. So Gary King was one of the original owners and partners of TST.
Yeah.
So he sold his company to Transports, and then he stayed on with them for several years.
Right.
I was lucky enough to play golf with him because one of his close friends was a member at St. George's, where my dad was a member. So I got to play golf, get to know him a few times. Great man, taught me an awful lot about transportation. So I did appreciate the time and mentoring that he did give me.
Yeah, it was a good company. I mean, we were doing like a weekly run out of Statesville, North Carolina, with Asmo, going to Coldwater, Michigan, every Wednesday. It was hauling power window motors for Toyota.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
Toyota's in Ayr, Ontario, or in Woodstock, which is basically about. If I got my car now, I could be there in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they have their speed and a lot of big carriers inside of there. But yes, Toyota's a substantial plant there that you would have operating out of.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a lot of changes as an Expedite. I can tell you that over the years. I've made my exit in 2021. So we got rid of the company and sold the assets off. So,
well, the pharma, which you were doing, the pharma still has a lot of Expedite in it for us. But at the same time, our pharma division, which has been growing nicely over the last year and a half, and I'm one of the individuals working in that, we do a lot of pharma loads. Like on average, one customer will do probably about 20, 25 loads a week, full loads of pharma.
Oh yeah.
They're planned in advance now to be able to use intermodal as well as truck to reduce cost and still make sure the supply chain stays active. Because obviously, when I started in transportation in 2008, I was told it's not life and death and it's not rocket science. And then when you start handling farm, you start to realize, life and death becomes more of a challenge. So the way you move things, do it, the GXP, the GDP designation, also key to handling farm the right way.
Yeah, back when I had the courier company, it was like I said, it was a medical courier company. How Allstate Express started out, we did home infusion IV therapy. So, like, let's say for instance, you had cancer, AIDS, or any kind of thing, you had to have, and you were sent home from the hospital, and you were getting your injections at home, your IVs and things like that. That's kind of what we did. And then we started doing a lot of the American Red Cross, a lot of their blood moves from like blood drives. Hospitals would have us pick up box here, box there from the Red Cross. We pretty much did the majority of the Red Cross in Charlotte, Winston-Salem, a lot of in Durham, North Carolina. That was a good business. That was a lot of fun.
So natural progression for you, Spence, to end up in coffee, because I read one time that I'm not a coffee drinker, but I read that if you drink one coffee a day, it can actually be healthy for you and help with carcinogens. So you went from farming to helping people with coffee. I understand that.
Trying to get everybody overly caffeinated to get their heart rates up, right?
Never mind a defib. We just need to get coffee.
I would argue Spencer's working with the pharma company now, because he's trying to raise your heart rate, which raises your blood pressure. What are you going to need now? You're going to need medicine. It's a whole conspiracy with Road Dog Coffee Company. We just uncovered it right here.
Well, see, and I've come to realize over time that I really don't need to have people overly caffeinated to get their heart rate up. I just got to be friends with them, and their heart rate gets up naturally. That's by being my friend.
Let me raise my hand for that one right there.
Stress levels, cortisol levels rise.
Every time I hang out with you, bro, I put myself I temporarily up my life insurance policy. So hanging out with you is dangerous, bro. It's dangerous for my health, man.
For a lot of people.
Justin, did you recycle your appliances?
Yeah. Oh my God. What an ordeal that was.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
Just,
I'm gonna shill for Lowe's here for a minute. If you buy an appliance from them and you need to return it, as long as it's within that 48-hour window, very smooth.
dude, I love Lowe's. I spend that's my place, man. I love it.
Yeah,
I
right here
try
in
not
North
to go to Home
Carolina.
Depot. Try
Yeah,
not to go to Home
Right in
Depot.
North Carolina.
over the weekend, our dryer stopped like running hot. Like the tumbler worked, everything was fine, but the blower on it wasn't going, and I stupidly assumed that it was an electric dryer, and must have burned up the heating element, and it's a 12-year-old appliance. So hey, why not just order a new one? And so we did, and it arrived, and then I decided to pull the dryer away from the wall, and I saw the gas line going to the floor. I was like, "Oh, Justin, you idiot!" And I
We
was
got to
so
grab
mad.
that.
Fuck it. I'm not gonna order another one. I'm just gonna see if I can fix this one before I do that, which I should have done in the first place. And yeah, it turns out there's like a $6 fuse. You just pop it out, put a new one in, and now it works fine. So I called Lowe's because now to one little complaint about Lowe's though, your return process only works smoothly if you have a Lowe's account, and I didn't. So I was stuck in this like recursive loop of like submitting my order number, getting a text verification thing, and it just kept going back and forth. And I was like, all right, I got to break this cycle. So made an account, finally got a hold of a customer service number to call, and spoke to a really nice lady over the phone. And she's like, this happens all the time. Don't feel bad. People are idiots and they order. She didn't say that, but she implied that people stupidly order the wrong kind of dryer all the time.
I like Lowe's, bro. I do. I don't know. They're a good place. I feel their service is better. The only thing I don't like about Lowe's is that they hire a lot of the younger crowd. And I mean, dude, not every person that walks in obviously walks into a home improvement store knows what the fuck they're looking for. So, when I walk up to 18-year-old Caleb and I'm like, hey, bro, can you please help me find these 18 degree coiled nails for this roofing nailer? And you send me over to the lawn and garden section, we got a problem. You know what I mean? So,
Your like ideal home improvement employee is like a semi-retired boomer who just like has been a tinkerer their entire life and knows exactly
with the limp, bro.
Yeah.
And maybe missing a few fingers.
Maybe a digit finger missing. Yeah, especially if they're like working in the wood section. And they have the entire store. They have the entire store layout memorized, and you just tell them some niche thing you need, and they're like, "Oh yeah, 17.6."
Yeah. Yes, bro.
Go in and ask for a wall stretcher.
I'm gonna do that next.
Get one of those young people. They'd be like, I don't know. Let me look that up.
Oh, dude, they all do, bro. Every single one of them now, they pull out their phone and pull out the store app, and I'm like, I could have fucking done that.
Well,
you know what I mean?
the apps, what they've got on their phone is actually a like a diagram, planogram, whatever, of the whole entire store, and it's pretty accurate. It can pinpoint exactly, and it tracks them inside, and it tells them where they are and all this stuff.
A lot of stores are doing that. You go to Target or Walmart now, and you ask an associate for something, and that's what they do. They just pull out their in-store phone device and they look it up for you. But it gives me the same vibes of like going to a doctor and then seeing him leave the examination room, going to his desk, and then typing in all your symptoms into ChatGPT. Like, dude, I was doing the exact same thing before I came here. What are we doing?
Right.
TT sits there and repeats to Justin the exact same thing Justin told him when he called. He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to get a second opinion.
Not medical device, not medical advice, but I burnt the living shit out of my thumb last summer, and I used ChatGPT to like walk me through like the treatment cycle, and it was great. Saved me a trip to the ER.
Don't know.
Always have an aloe vera plant handy in your house.
I just don't think that I am at the level of comfort where technology that I'm going to ask my electronic overlord questions to make sure that I continue living. You know what I mean? I burnt my finger. I have a little blister. What should I do? Chop the arm off.
The original guy.
Well, I think enough people are like such hypochondriacs that they just plug up the health system with like every little complaint about anything. And I think some people just need that assurance of like, okay, as long as you're explicit with all of your symptoms, and it can just go down the logic tree of like what it is. As long as you know that you're not going to die there on the spot, you're okay. Okay, take some Advil, walk it off, you'll be fine.
look, everybody. The military figured this shit out years ago. All right, Jimmy can help me here. You need two things to survive any injury, or three things to survive any injury: ibuprofen, drink more water, change your socks. That's it.
Socks.
Maybe
that does it every time.
Every time, bro. Every
no,
time.
some duct tape. Duct tape.
Yeah.
That'll work.
That'll help fill the room with duct tape, bro.
First start, my legs hanging off. Drink
That's a
more
nice
water,
little
private.
trick.
Drink more water.
What
back
color's
to
your urine? You know?
That's the best question ever.
I've been drinking a lot of water lately, and I'm like shooting clear right now. It's great.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I'm serious. Like the military, for all its advancements, man, the shit that it does when it comes to medical stuff, it is mind-boggling, bro. It is mind-boggling. I'm telling you, and put a Snoopy Band-Aid on it and send him back out there. You know,
send him on his way.
So I'm a little late coming into the show. Did you guys talk about the whole Tucker Carlson nicotine pouch thing yet?
No,
I mean,
we're waiting on you to do that.
Important things in the world.
It's
but, I mean,
it's a fucking waste of time.
I think it's funny.
It's a marketing ploy now. So we reached out to like his team, everything. Gord's been like pulling strings, but Gord like has his personal cell and has been talking to his booking agent because he's trying to get back on the show. And he gave them my contact info, Danielle's, Ryan Joyce, like the whole Freight X fraud investigation team. And Danielle finally got a hold of their social media guy in the DMs last night. And it's like talking to a child. We're like, can we get the bill of lading? Can we get the broker number? And every question has been like, oh, we'll get back to you. Oh, I got to dig for that. Oh, get us a fucking adult on the phone, please, that we can figure this shit out. Then we find out from their social media post, oh, this happened back on like the 28th or 14th or whatever last month. That shit's gone. It's long gone. You have 24 to 48 hours to try and recover that load. Otherwise, the odds of recovery just fall off a cliff. So fine, have fun with your memes. You're not getting that shit back.
Dude, that stuff, I can tell you right now, man. That stuff is going to pop up in the market in a few weeks, and they probably already called a sticker company to get the new labels printed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I did.
Either it's going to get slapped with like some like off-brand label, or it's going to end up at like every shady gas station in the southeast and the northeast. Yeah.
Pallets of nicotine patches at
the
flea market.
It's not a gas station. It's like a real crummy convenience store. It's literally called The Corner Store down the street from my house. I'm going to keep an eye out there because they always have like the sketchy like weird like off-brand label flavored zins.
They were selling Gucci purses last week, hanging off the same rack that the sun hats hang on.
Yeah.
Let's get into the real thing. What's the street value? I mean, that's what I need to know. What's the street value?
They said it was the whole trailer itself, 300,000 something tins of it. So they said it's street value of like a couple mil.
Wow.
Nicotine patches. Wow.
Yeah.
I jacked the right load, baby. I jacked the right load. I'm on the come up.
Damn.
I wish they would be more forthcoming with
mats alone.
We just wish they'd be more forthcoming with like who's the broker, what is the carrier that they booked, and then let us actually like dig into this and see what happened. If they were honest and said, "Hey, the police are already investigating this stuff. It's been going on for weeks." Okay, fine. We'll be hands off. You guys have fun with it. But they just keep teasing along with this. It's like you're wasting everybody's time.
So I can see Jimmy at Matt's, so he'll dye his beard black, put a turban on his head, and start selling nicotine patches out of his booth.
There you go. Right there with Freight Ninja. I'll be right there slinging.
Figure out
here's
what.
Here's the
Sorry,
real
Jimmy,
question, Justin. If they don't want to tell you the information, does it have that feeling of insider work? Is this an insurance claim so they can get some money out of the deal?
No, I'm sure they've already filed an insurance claim and they're getting that bag. The problem is that the person communicating all this info is just like their social media person. They don't work in their shipping department, whatever. So that's my take on it. What I would do is figure out who what's the next freight conference that ePay is going to be at, because they always have like the funny nicotine pouch giveaways. I'd keep an eye on those guys.
That's a good one.
Just kidding, ePay. Don't sue me. But also, if you did get some, let us know.
Here comes the letter from the lawyer.
Oh boy, that's right, Jeff. Here comes the letter from the lawyer.
I'll frame it. I'll frame it.
There you
Cease
go.
and assist. Stop your slander.
You know, my real thing is like
And a response.
this is the point that we're at in theft, right? Like I know, it's always a crime of opportunity. The whole Guy Fieri tequila thing, I get that, but like
That was
nicotine
bullshit.
pouches, come on.
This was
man.
more than just opportunity. The guy showed up with like fake credentials and stuff. So I mean, I'm sure they had whoever pulled this off. They were keeping their eye on this for a while.
I mean,
It was
I
true.
guess smoking is on the decline, so it's not like you're jacking a truck of Reds anymore. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I don't know. I guess it's
could have been
you
Don
liken
Lemon.
it to the you liken it to the conversation we had about the highest things stolen, and we were talking about it being damn laundry soap.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
easy to move, I mean, if I can see why it got hit. I mean, because it's easy to move. Like you said, you can go to any shady gas station, and hell, they'll take it off your hands and sell it right there. So I
Well,
get it.
it's not a product like Apple AirTags or iPhone.
Exactly.
It's nicotine patches, so you know that there's not going to be a lot of spotlight shine on that.
If I'm a criminal dirtbag and I manage to get my hands on like a shipping container full of like these new MacBooks that are coming out, all Apple needs to do is figure out the trailer number, the lot number, hit a button,
Yeah.
and they just nuked every device that I've stolen. So it holds no
Yeah.
value to me trying to sell it.
No.
Yep, exactly. So
You
I
know,
mean,
I
it makes
don't know.
sense. I mean, go ahead, Jeff.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know why. You mentioned Guy Ferrari, right? They waited a freaking year to talk about it, and then it was on CBS.
Well, they
It's
don't-
like, why
they
did
don't wanna be
people,
embarrassed.
when things happen like that, why don't they get law enforcement and everybody involved?
Well,
Like
here's
the
the other.
Free Fraud Task Force or somebody, like us, that could jump on it and help him. Why sit on it for a year? That doesn't help anybody.
Well, I think the report came out a year or whatever, however many months later. But I think at the time they did get with somebody to try and investigate it.
Yeah, because it's irrelevant a year later. I mean, why even
Mhm.
put it out there? I mean, it's irrelevant.
Well, if they got with somebody, when it happened, and they got the same runaround that a lot of us brokers get, I can see why it didn't come out for so long. Because let's be honest, I mean, freight fraud fighters have been around for a while, but it's really just now gaining traction with the Jeffs and the Justins, and the Johns of the world. But I mean, hell, I've dealt with it in my career, and you call the PD, and they're like, "Oh, it's not my issue." They say call this PD. Okay, oh, it's not our issue. I mean, if you get that runaround, it's kind of like, I get it.
Well,
I
that
also-
was why they were trying to pass CORCA, the Combating Organized Retail Crime Act. That was supposed to be a task force to actually take care of this at the federal level. Because as any of us knows, you contact the FBI and you tell them, "Hey, I got
Yeah.
a $3 million shipment stolen," and they're like, "Well, was the guy hauling a bomb or is he a serial killer?" No, okay. Like,
This is something significant.
yeah,
But yeah,
I also think
That's
this,
gonna be a local.
Bugatti, law enforcement's all over that, right? Someone steals somebody's car, they're all over there trying to find where that is. If it's a trailer load of like tough books, Panasonic tough books, over $1 million, it's just like not my problem.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, not my
Yeah.
problem.
I think
also like
money and
about
knife
what
is missing. They're gonna
what
be
Dell is what Dell has been bringing up a point that we all talked about a long time ago when it comes to the whole fraud thing is that none of these people want to share any information because they're all afraid someone's going to use it to hurt them, and they think that it's proprietary and blah 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 blah. On the root of stuff, I mean that they share, and I would even say law enforcement across the crime spectrum. You can name any crime, and you can go on the FBI database, and there's a little asterisk that says, these are just estimates. A vast majority of these crimes are not reported. So a big part of these things aren't even reported to law enforcement agency. And the only reason these things are getting any kind of traction is because these people are celebrities, which is honestly kind of sad because let's be honest. I mean, how many truckloads of maybe plasma were probably stolen this month that were going to save people's lives, but that isn't in the news, but I think the big part of this is that they just don't want to look bad or talk to people like Justin and Danielle and Dale and you, Jeff, who are complete outsiders. They have no reason to trust you, and in a world where all people want to do, a lot of people want to do is find a way to use some information to harm you or get a leg up or whatever. I think that's a big part of the issue. You know, they're just too afraid, and they don't want to be embarrassed. And until we figure that part out, which we never will, then it's just going to continue. And Dell Prax is pushing that so freaking hard right now.
Yeah.
So hard. That same thing. Everyone's complaining about the same problem. All of you are complaining about the same thing, but none of you are be like, oh, hey, let me just go knock on my neighbor's door and be like, hey, dude, this is what I've got. What do you got? Let's find a way to try to find a solution. No, because everyone's too worried about trying to capitalize on it monetarily.
So that's a really good point you made about a lot of this stuff not being reported. Were any of you guys at TCA over the weekend?
No.
So I'm blanking on the guy's name. Michael, how do you pronounce his name? Michael Caney?
Yeah.
CEO Highway? Yeah, so he up on stage made like this big bold promise that anyone that uses Highway as like a vetting platform for a carrier and then their load gets stolen, they're going to cover the cost of that load. And I'm like, okay, one, that's incredible because I get complaints like that all the time from people coming to me or emails being forwarded to me saying, hey, we had 5 Walmart loads stolen. All the carriers were vetted through Highway. They passed everything, and then poof, our stuff is gone. I don't know if Highway has enough money to burn to cover those costs, or if they're taking everybody's complaints at face value of the number of reports. I think people are underreporting how much freight gets stolen, and anyone who comes out with like this bold declaration, good luck.
Yeah.
It's I guess my question is it underreporting or is it the fact that no one takes your report and it doesn't move anywhere? If that makes
Both,
sense.
yeah. I think
the
a
report
little
only.
both.
If my load got stolen today, and let's just say the value on it was $6,000, we're just going to use something small. Am I really going to call and push that through my insurance and get higher premiums, or am I just going to pay that after the PD shut me down? That's not my problem. Not my problem. I'm probably just going to pay it, move on, save the customer, save the issues. So am I really not reporting, or is there nowhere for me to report?
Yeah.
Do you actually save the customer?
That's another question.
I would hope that Verisk or one of the other organizations that track cargo theft would, if a police department's not going to take a report, then they would at least take a report so that they can at least tally it with their research.
No, they don't even take the report.
I really don't know if they do that.
Yeah, they don't. They say it's not my issue. Call so and so, and then they say it's
No.
my issue.
I'm not talking about the police department. I'm talking about Verisk or CargoNet.
Yeah.
Or one of the other organizations that tracks cargo theft.
Yeah, it's they don't make it easy. We'll just put it that way.
Ain't that the improve?
Yeah.
There is a reporting being done, or they wouldn't be able to come out with the number from last year being 15 billion in cargo theft and fraud.
The first thing that I would do is I would back into it. How did it get stolen in the first place? Where is my guard down? What did I do? What didn't I do as a shipper or a carrier? Because a carrier could park a trailer in a yard someplace. Somebody happens to know the trailer number and knows exactly what's in it. They go in there and pick it up and take it, in an unsecured yard, of course.
I was.
You got to back into things to protect yourself. That's the way I look at it.
With the cargo theft. I mean, I was watching a movie. It was years ago, and it had I can't remember if it was Colin Farrell in it or I think it was maybe him. But anyway, you know how the law enforcement could tap. You got all the stoplight cameras now, right? There's cameras everywhere throughout cities, pretty much stoplights everywhere. So they have ways of tapping those cameras and follow. Like if there's something they want to track, they can go back and look at those cameras and.
They have that. It's called gen logs.
Yeah.
They could probably really uncover a lot of the stuff if they would start using that technology a lot more. I don't think they're doing it.
That's why we were trying to have Tucker's people reach out to Brian Joyce, because as long as we can get like a cab number, a trailer number, any detail on the truck, we can throw it into gen logs, filtered by the route, and they're saying, oh, the truck was tracked. The tracking showed it going from California to Kentucky and then disappeared. But the tracking data could be spoofed. As long as we have like the actual physical description of the truck, chuck it into gen logs, and we can see where it actually went.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that those cameras, when they photograph or film, they're actually recording your tag number.
Yeah.
Well, they're not
If it's
just, they're not
visible, yeah.
just that. The cameras,
If-
It's being
the
fed into
cameras
an
on the
AI,
interstate, the cameras on the interstate have facial recognition software.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like that's
So
how they're starting
they
to catch all these kidnappers and things of that nature. Like if
Yep.
if they're
Yep.
on an interstate, those roadway signs you see that say, they say some message like put on your seatbelt, or smart people put on their seatbelt or whatever. They have facial recognition software inside of them. So
Oh yeah.
you're getting tracked everywhere you go now.
If I may, if I
Big
could
brother.
interject, I always love to throw curveballs here. So, and Jeff touched on something, and a lot of us say this. Jeff says it a lot. We all talk about trying to I wouldn't say hold the shippers and receivers more accountable, but find a way to make them more present in these things and help us find the solutions. But one thing that is missing from that I don't feel that this is maybe how they see it, is the stuff on that truck. That shit's already sold, man. They either A, have already collected that money for that, or B, it's on its way. And then you go, how many layers of insurance are between them getting their money back and having a total loss? You got the carrier, you got the broker, you probably got the receiver, maybe their buyer that has insurance for it. So, I'm a person, I think about all things, and I try to look at things from all perspective, and like, why isn't something working? I'm not an engineer, but that's kind of what engineers do. They look at something and say, how do I need to make it work? Why isn't it working now? And then they work the problem. And I feel that's one of the things, is that they see no reason, no value in them wasting time, wasting effort, and let's be honest, wasting money to help you along with this, right? And then letting someone in to look at documents and all this thing. So I feel like it kind of comes down to, we have already found the solution, and that is the private sector, I guess you could say, being the ones doing this hard work. And unfortunately, I think we have a long road ahead of us before we get everyone involved in these transactions, the manufacturers, the distribution centers, law enforcement, political people, blah, 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 blah. We've got a long road to go. But I think, but my point is I'm trying to applaud us, is what I'm saying in the end here, is I think we are all doing amazing things, and we're just going to have to continue trying to find a fight, because I don't feel the rest of them see the point in getting further involved with it. They just don't see the value like we do,
It's not even liability. It's just pure laziness. You're getting these people from temp agencies. They're paying them $16 an hour to work trucks. They don't have the wherewithal to take a copy of the driver's license and get a truck and trailer number. I send the info to all of my shippers. I send the driver's name, truck and trailer number, the driver's cell phone number, and usually a copy of the driver's CDL. And I say, please cross-reference this with who shows up to pick up the load. And if there's any issues, please call me. You know how many times I've had a phone call?
0.
Oh yeah.
Once.
Hey, 1. That's good.
Well,
I
Better
did.
than 0.
And I'll tell you what, it was in Canada, of all places.
It was probably Bill.
my strictest customer that does that, my two are my pharmaceutical customer and my nutrition customer. They are serious about that.
I've got a freaking pharmaceutical customer that won't do it, and I'm just like, guys,
Ridiculous.
they're shipping high value cargo.
Yeah, you got to do that. They got to take extra steps.
I'm like, you're shipping high value, easily fenceable cargo. Like, the second this load is stolen, it is sold.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is do some basic due diligence, and then we can most likely prevent anything from getting taken.
Yeah.
What I would, if I was one of these shippers, I would be using something like Gate. Do you guys know about GateGo?
No,
think of GateGo as it's like gen logs, but for yards. So it's just a camera sits by the entry and exit, and it records every truck and trailer coming in and out of your gate. So you as a customer, if you want to know where the hell your truck is, oh, it was flagged coming into this gate at timestamp XYZ. And the cameras are high definition enough that it records, the seal number and everything on the trailer as long as it's visible. So I think tech tools like that are like the way forward. Because as we're saying, like the government's just not fast enough to keep up with all this stuff.
Well, Pedro's
I have to
comment.
disagree with Adam on one thing, because I think differently, because I'm a shipper at heart, even though I'm a broker. And the way I look at it is when a company hires a logistics manager, they're responsible for protecting their brand image and reputation as well as your own. All right. You are supposed to put in the work instructions, the process improvement plans, everything under the sun to save money and to protect their goods at all costs, even if it is vendor routed. It doesn't matter. It banged your dock, you loaded it. You have the responsibility and accountability to make sure that that's the right carrier who banged that, and that, the MC number, DOT number. I mean, you could just go into a plethora of things. And any logistics manager out there that doesn't perform that isn't responsible. I mean, your brand image and reputation is in every single truck.
Right.
Every shipper starts the process. You wouldn't be talking about this if a shipper never shipped a product. All right. That's a fact. It all starts with the shipper. The shipper is our eyes. We're not perfect. Carriers are not perfect. Brokers aren't perfect. And shippers. We have to have that trifecta.
Well,
as I call it. Everybody has to check everybody else out.
And these guys are so sophisticated now that you could have like the greatest people working on the dock or recording every single detail of the truck and the driver coming in. But if it's a load that's been intercepted and the driver shows up with fake credentials, you don't really know all that stuff. So having these like recording tools handy so that when the shipment is realized, oh, it's been stolen, you have a record of, okay, this is the face of the driver who picked it up. These are the details of his truck and trailer. Now we can actually go after this shipment.
Yeah. Well, and like Pedro said earlier about this stuff, like one of the things with that traveler's insurance event I was at, a lot of it's gone within 2 days. It's overseas being sold in the markets overseas or somewhere. But and also with the private sector, it's just like what's going on right now in the Middle East, with the private sector is providing all the lift to get all the Americans out of the Middle East area, right? So private contractors and things like that. But I mean, I think that the private sector, if certain organizations could really play a huge role in combating some of this theft and recovering shipments and bringing people to justice over this stuff. But I mean, and just like our good friend right here, Dave Riley, asked the question, how many of these high value shipments are inside jobs? Well, I guarantee you, I'd love to know what that percentage is.
At a cargo seminar, because I was going to answer that for Dave as well, at a cargo seminar I attended, they actually had the FBI come in, and they believe that as much as 80 to 90% of the cargo theft on the high value is an inside job.
Yeah, or somebody who previously worked there that's feeding information to somebody else. So people will go get jobs at these facilities just to get information, then they'll get fired, quit, whatever, and then the way they go,
On that, I think Adam honestly hit that shit on the head. And here's another guy who knows this specific thing in and out, is Mr. John here. But a majority of these places, they hire temp worker people, man. They do. I'm not throwing any shade or hating on you, man. Like, you do what you do and stuff. I've done it, but it's just you hire these people that are through a temp agency that they haven't been vetted. You bring them into a facility that who knows what you do. Maybe you just make diapers. Who really gives a crap about what's going on there?
But the person wearing the diaper gets.
I see what you did there.
Point is that these people have access, even whether you think it or not, to a lot of information about your building. You know what I mean? And your operations, even if they're just standing on a line looking and making sure all the diapers are white, you know what I mean? They're still getting to see a lot. And like you said, Spencer, they leave and, maybe something happened that was wrong, or maybe they're just a bad person, period. Right. And I mean, the point is you let folks in and out of your building all the time with these temp workers on this dock. They see processes, they do things, they know when trucks come, so forth, so on. And it's a risk, and I'm not saying everyone that in that situation is like that. But companies don't think about this, and that's I feel a really sad part, and I say sad about our time and age, especially with the way the economy and stuff is in our country and around the world, is everything is so damn price driven and margin driven right now that's their thought is, well, if I can just save money and pay, Joseph $16 an hour for the next 6 weeks, and then I'll get, Justin in here and I'll pay him $15.50 for the few weeks after that, versus, man, let me just hire Bill and pay him $25 an hour and keep him on a permanent, give him good benefits, and he'll do all the, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of risk that a lot of exposure people don't think about, I guess is my point.
It's a very simple equation. If I am working at this place as like a temp worker and I'm making 15 an hour, I know how much I'm being paid to be there. And if I see an opportunity where I can make a couple grand or however much they're paying me for some inside info, of course I'm gonna give it out. I have zero loyalty to this company. They're not gonna have my back on anything. Why wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's just
because there's no risk of me being caught either.
Right. Well, here's something for you. So years ago we had a driver, and this is we all know this goes on, but we had a driver. He was relatively new to Allstate Express. He was in a tractor. He was not loaded, thank God. But he got popped coming out of Houston, Texas, on the interstate. There was another checkpoint set up where he had like 4 illegals in his sleeper berth that some coyote or whoever came up to him in a truck stop and said, "Hey, we're going to give you $5,000. Just drive these people 30 miles up the road and stop here at this rest area. And all you got to do is let them out, and you're going to make $5,000 to do this."
Yeah.
He got popped. Everything got confiscated. Thank God we got our truck and trailer back. But it's just, I don't know which one of you guys made the comment that these people who are paid a low wage, if somebody comes to them and gets to them and convinces them, say, "Hey, I'm going to give you X for information on X," I mean, a lot of times they're going to do it. If they don't,
you as a driver right now, if you're parking at a truck stop in Laredo, chances are not zero that some guy in a van is going to come up to you and say, "Hey, can you, put a couple people in your truck? We'll pay you cash." This shit happens all the time.
I know.
Yeah, and to go back on the low wages, and this is not a knock on temp workers again, but a lot of the times, who are your temp workers?
Exactly. Well, what's his name?
Former felons that can't get work anywhere.
Yes.
When I ran warehouses, most of my temps were exactly that. They were guys usually who were still on probation, but they were some of the best freaking workers who ever worked for me. I actually cared about them. I took care of them. I gave them the time off they needed to see their POs.
But so many though, John. So many guys are not like that.
I really don't think. Honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with what your fucking background is. I think Justin hit it on the head. You're a human being, bro. Humans are creatures of
I'm just stating a fact that
opportunity.
A lot of these guys have a previous record.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with somebody the other day that was talking about people being in working for a bank, being in a vault, counting money. At a certain point, if you're counting $800 million every day, you're going to decide that, I could probably get away with siphoning off $100,000 and nobody's going to know.
No, you got to do it you got to do it in weird increment amounts, man. I've already thought about this. You got to take like $500.02 one day, and then like $415.08 the next. Got to be fucking weird, man. It's got to look like an account.
None of us in any
way. Next thing you know, we'll be watching Fox News
trying to steal from your employer or anybody else. None of us.
Like you guys remember G-Face, right?
Allegedly.
You guys remember G-Face, right? From like a year ago or 2 years ago. That was how his whole operation worked. He was, hey, what's up, Tab? So he was in jail for like a road rage incident and made a bunch of connections on the inside. When he got out, because of his Armenian background, his whole family is in freight. And he would just go to random warehouses around Southern California, meet guys on the dock that he like served time with. And he'd be like, "Yo, you remember me? I'm G-Face, blah, blah, blah." And he would make him a deal. "You have trucks coming out all the time. I'll Zelle you $200 as long as you start booking those loads through me." So a lot of the ways that these like theft rings work is like these guys all know each other when they were serving time, and then now that they're out in the real world with jobs, they're still given like all kinds of crazy opportunities to make money. So you have to like make sure the incentives are not lined up in their favor. Like here's what's going to happen to you if you get caught. You're going to go right back to jail. You're going to serve out the rest of your sentence, probably even double, and we're going to pay you enough to make sure that thought never even crosses your mind.
Justin, you just pulled up the biggest challenge. I know I have to balance, but I'll say this. Biggest challenge we have currently right now is whether anywhere in North America, they caught a guy, according to the article, 5 times in one day stealing the UP yard going after Amazon containers.
Mm-hmm.
The problem being is there's no teeth, and nobody's going to actually, when you say, okay, we caught them, they're not going to jail. They're being put right back out on the street. When the FBI came to the cargo seminar, they brought a guy they caught 13 times and turned him into the real catch me if you can. He showed a demonstration where they went into a truck stop. They took the pins out of the doors, dropped it between the two trailers. 4 guys come out and unload the entire trailer of electronics. The reality is these people knew what trailer number it was, what was in it, to be able to go and take that one when the driver came to stop before delivering at an electronic company.
Well, it's okay, so you talk about inside jobs. This has been a few years ago now, but I want to say it was like 2023, 2024, and the new Jordans came out. And this made national freight news. It was at the rail yard in Memphis at the BNSF yard. There's 10,000 containers there, but they literally
parked it in the middle of the yard.
Yeah, but they literally knew the containers that had the new Jordans in them, and those were the only containers that got robbed. And they lost $800,000.
Yep.
In Air Jordans.
And those things were on Facebook Marketplace the next day.
Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, everywhere, eBay. Let me ask you this, and this may be a question for Justin or John. What is who's got the most cargo theft, the U.S. or Canada?
Ooh, probably just the U.S., just from sheer volume.
Correct. The U.S. is, you got to remember it. At the end of the day, we represent 10% of a population. California has more people than we do in Canada.
Yeah.
At the same time, when you look at it, generally speaking, our landscape is dominated by American retailers and restaurants. They represent about 10% of their overall revenue. When I meet with them, 90% is still being done in the U.S. So
when a Canadian truck comes across the border to deliver and that load gets hijacked, I wonder if that goes on the record as Canadian theft or U.S. theft.
Good question.
Again, if it originates in Canada, but the load is stolen when it's in the U.S., it will still go against the U.S. as a cargo theft.
It does.
In Canada. By the same token, when we have people and drugs being caught at the border coming from the U.S. to Canada, that can technically go against the Canadian carrier, obviously, because they're the ones bringing it in. So I think that's fair that way. I think what we're missing as well with this, when you look at cargo theft, the 2 biggest challenges that I've been dealing with for 3 years and why I spend a lot of time with insurance companies is most shippers and most people look at this, including law enforcement, this is not a crime against humanity. It's a crime against insurance, a crime against the inanimate object. So therefore, as a result, it doesn't have the same height as the other things do. Then in addition to that, even if you catch them red-handed, their jail time is not provided and there's no teeth to it. So what stops them or desensitize them from doing it again? So really, we can go back and say, okay, it starts here with the FMCSA putting bad actors on, then it starts with people stealing, but there has to be punishments that are appropriate to make it so they don't do it again.
That's exactly it. Because so just me personally, I've worked in enough sensitive areas and I've hauled enough sensitive cargo that were I a criminal piece of shit, I could probably make a killing with all kinds of freight theft and fencing it and et cetera. But I know what's going to happen to me if I get caught, so I'm not going to do it.
Be a great tag team.
I can't even begin to describe to you the shit that I could pull for.
I have to go. So it's a pleasure spending time with all of you. Pedro, you're here to
we know the process.
Crime in our industry, not give suggestions how people can add to it. Have a great day, all. Appreciate you having me.
We'll see you later.
Most of us here are avid fraud fighters, and we know internal processes for people that we support. I do a lot of consulting, and it would take nothing for me to be able to break bad and make a freaking killing doing this, knowing that the most jail time I will ever do, ever, is when I'm first arrested and then finally released and it's time served. You know, so I mean, of course, there's absolutely every incentive in the world. You know what my big incentive is to not do something stupid like that? Is my reputation. I value my reputation. I value what I bring to the industry. I value that badge over my shoulder here, double broker bounty hunter, and that brand. That's why I don't take bribes. That's why I don't deal with stuff. And boy, I've been approached. I think all of us probably have at one point in our lives.
So what you're saying is you're just a good fucking dude and a great upstanding citizen, right?
I try to say I'm an upstanding citizen. I don't know if I'll say I'm a great dude, but I'm definitely an upstanding citizen.
I just like to point out, if you look right now, the two of them are next to each other on the screen. The Balding Bandits has a really nice ring to it.
I could show up to any random warehouse in the country with a high vis vest and a clipboard and just walk around unnoticed anywhere. I'm invisible.
Sorry, I killed the conversation. Go on, John.
What was it in,
Tell me more.
Home Alone Part 2? They were the sticky bandits.
Yeah.
The wet bandits. The wet bandits.
Yeah, you got the Balding Bandits here.
Call ourselves the Wet Bandits. We're gonna.
I would love to. This would be like a really fun.
The Wet Bandits.
I'm not kidding. I need your guys' help on like brainstorming this. How would I set up some kind of like consulting firm where I purposefully like break into?
Sorry, my bad. I don't have any coffee to forgive myself. Okay.
How would I have a company hire me to like break into their facility and just
talk Sylvester Stallone movie? Hold on, Justin, because that's where I want to go with this.
There's people that already do that.
Do you remember the movie Sneakers with Robert Redford?
Yes, I do.
Dream job right there. Hire me and like a team to just go in, not break anything, but just show where your vulnerabilities are. We'll write up a nice 10-page report.
Actually talking, or is he miming?
Sylvester Stallone movie
that do that. There's companies that do that.
How to break out of jails.
That's what I need to start up. Is like
I do mock break-ins and stuff like that. There are a lot of them are ex-law enforcement, but yeah, that already exists. There's people that are doing that.
It'd be like
I'll go to Penske. At least
like undercover boss though, Justin.
I'll lease a truck from Penske. Bullshit my way through the security check-in.
I can't hear a word Justin's saying. Am I?
I think you have.
He won't stop talking.
Yeah, it was muted probably. But I think that's a great business. Just show up and say, "Hey, I've just now stolen."
I literally cannot hear a word
load.
he's saying, guys. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Justin, if I get a consulting job for that, I will make sure that I sub you in on that. Okay.
Yeah, I talked with so Rob Carpenter months ago told me that there was a company that wanted to hire drivers as like quote unquote new driver trainees to come in. It was paying like $200 an hour to audit their new driver training programs. Like I would do that in a heartbeat.
I just want to see the disguises that Justin's gonna fucking come up with.
Oh yeah,
no disguise. This is my disguise.
We know November 15th through.
No way you could get away with it as J-Mart, bro. You've got
He
too
put a wig
memorable
on?
of a fucking face. No one would ever. No one. No,
Yeah, give me an alias or something. Look,
Justin, it would
I'm Clark.
be so much funner.
I'm Clark Kent. I take my glasses off. Boom. I'm a different person now.
You could have so much fun with it, dude. You could like one day you could come in with like a green, mohawk type wig at one, dude. Like you have so much fun with this, bro. Go to one dressed as Santa, but like you're in a red and white flannel shirt. You know what I mean? Like you do the whole.
He put a long wig on him. He'd be cousin it.
There you
You know what, man?
I got a wig. So I dress as Thor every year for Halloween. So I do have a nice like blonde wig.
Here's something. I know you guys will remember this. I hadn't seen this in forever, but just reminds me. I don't know why it just popped in my head. Remember the freaking game called Wooly Willy?
No.
No.
This right here.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know the magnet, you draw the hair and stuff, and you got hair on the top of the bad guy. I don't know why I just thought that was.
I can't get rid of the beard. My wife has threatened me with divorce if I ever get rid of it, so it's stuck with me. This is my disguise.
My wife and I were just talking about that the other day.
That Justin, that would be a. I mean, there are people that do that.
Your identifier.
Mock break-ins, mock whatever. I don't know how often, people use companies like that to test their vulnerabilities. I don't know, but it would be kind of cool to have that on an ongoing.
Well, as we're seeing in the news, they certainly need to.
If
Well,
you
yeah,
could
no.
find
One of the
out-
things I do in my consulting work, but I do it on paper. I'll review procedures and whatnot, and I'm able to determine where the holes are based on their procedures. Well, you don't stop to look at this. You don't stop to look at that. You don't make your customers do this. You don't make your customer do that, and that's a liability. So I mean, I do stuff like that now. Even with my current consulting client, I do that. But
I need a list of all of your clients. I need a list of all your clients so I can show up with a rented Penske truck and a leased trailer and just show like how vulnerable they really are.
Let's
Love
put
to
his
do
auditing to test.
I mean, that's why I started Shady Freight, my LLC. I'm trying to get something rolling here with it.
Shady Freight.
Shady
Yeah, I
Freight,
get something like that. You better believe, Justin. I'm gonna call you and bring you in on it. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah. My wife keeps asking me when I'm going to start making money on this stuff, and I'm like, that's a great question. Figuring it out.
Well, I mean, I've been doing the double broker bounty hunter thing now for 4 years, and I'm only just now actually starting to make money off it, to make a living off of it. So I mean, it took forever to develop it. It's just a lot of people still don't know who the hell I am, which is fine. But no one looks for me or until they become a victim. No one looks for the kinds of services that we offer, the things that we do as a group, until they become a victim, because no one ever thinks about it.
That's my biggest frustration with the current administration is everyone's trying to be like reactive to everything going on. And like, guys, there are steps you can take to be super proactive. It's not going to guarantee everything goes away overnight, but you're going to have a massive impact on freight fraud, freight theft, and everything else going forward.
Definitely on the way.
Yeah, it's a big problem. It's going to just continue to be a big problem until people really want to step up and stop the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
Now they have a mindset.
Rather just pay it out and be done.
Well, there's so many layers of like not accountability, but like just so many buffers. Like you shipper, the carrier, the broker, the dispatcher, and then like everyone's got insurance in between.
Right.
And at no point in any of those links is anyone like, I am the one party directly responsible for all of this. Everything falls on me. It all just kind of gets spread around.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Not
and
entirely.
ultimately, it all gets spread around, but it all comes back to the insurance. Let's get back to the basis. At some point, somebody's got to pay. But if I'm said insurance company, I pay out this claim, but I got 40,000 other customers who didn't make a claim. Do I really care to prevent what just happened because I'm just going to raise everybody's, everybody's a bill up a month, and I'm going to cover that cost next year, no problem. I mean, life is good. Why stop it if it's only costing me a minute amount?
It is starting to bite them in the ass though, because a lot of these carriers they can't get like regular insurance, so they go through these like risk purchase groups or what's the other risk purchase carriers and stuff. And the ones in California, they're like going bankrupt left and right now. They're bleeding money. They didn't realize just how rampant this like level of fraud was out there. And so, by all means, insurance companies, if you're listening, get with us. We want to save you some money.
What's the name of the company in Texas that does all the tracking, like high value cargo? They're like little round coins, and they just randomly throw them in a package or randomly throw them in to a skid somewhere. You don't know which one it is.
There's several companies like
that. Yeah, there's a lot.
Texas, pretty big. They were one of the pioneers doing this stuff, but I mean,
Tracks it or trucks it.
I can't remember the name of them, but maybe maybe the insurance companies need to require something. I mean, I don't know how expensive it will be, but any cargo that's over 50 grand or over 100 grand requires some kind of outside of just truck tracking. You got to have some kind of other device thrown into the cargo that cannot be found, or you don't know where it's at.
There is a problem with that. the more sophisticated guys, so like the Mexican cartels,
Yeah.
stuff like that, when they take a stolen load to a transload site,
Mhm.
they have electronic sniffers
Yeah,
throughout the
right.
facility. So they leave the cargo on the dock, and then when the tracker gets pinged, their electronic
find it.
sniffers will triangulate and identify where the item is. They pull it off, they smash it, then they load the cargo back onto a truck and rotate it
right.
around to another site. It's called cargo laundering.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like money laundering,
Right.
you know. But that's how they get away with it. So yes, the trackers help. They certainly add value, but it's only early on in the incident. What really drives me nuts is that somebody doesn't own up that there's a problem when the problem originally happens. I'm dealing with a case right now with another client of mine where they had a cargo that was stolen 3 months ago. It did not get reported until early this week.
It's long gone.
And it's like, okay, why didn't you guys say something 3 months ago when it was quote unquote delivered? Well, we didn't check it in, and I was like, well, then why is my client responsible then?
I mean, from everything I know, I haven't been doing this long, only since 2013, so not quite as long as Jeff. But if I ship something from California all the way over here to the East Coast, it's not a 3-month transit. So what happened?
It's a 3-day.
Well, Jeff started his career back in biblical days. He was running logistics for fish and grapes and stuff. You know.
Pontius Pilate was one of his clients. You know, I mean,
I think too, brokers and shippers need to just realize, like, if you're shipping that kind of high value freight on a journey that long, you need to have certain levels of service for your carrier. So like when I was hauling military freight, all of our trailers had to have sensors on the doors, and it prevents people from not just breaking the seal, but removing the bolts. On the bolts had to be welded onto the door too. So if the doors from the trailer were removed, there was an Air Force base out of Chicago that would get an alert saying, boop, hey, this load's being open. And if you're hauling, if you're shipping, freight that really is that valuable, you need to have carriers that have that kind of equipment.
Here's an idea.
I just don't know if they're willing to pay for that kind of service.
I think there's a market out there now where you for chase vehicles. I think for high value loads, I think there are freight brokers out there who really need to hire somebody who's going to follow the damn truck.
Yeah, chase cars.
Make sure the truck's actually on point and follows it right to its delivery.
A lot of
like a backhaul for an oversize.
some DOD. Well, you know that if you're hauling currency from the Mint or certain DOD freight, that's required, right? So remember back in the day when
apparently not. The one in Philly, the guy had $200,000 or $300,000 worth of nickels in his truck. So he parked the damn thing at a Walmart parking lot and then came back to go home to take a nap, and then came back and the whole fucking trailer was stolen.
We're supposed to be doing it, but remember back in the day when everybody had Qualcomms. We had Qualcomms on our trucks. The white dome.
Oh yeah.
Now we never did pharmaceutical freight or anything, but remember, if you're hauling the currency, the DOD freight, specific DOD freight, or some pharma, you had to have panic buttons. And
yeah, we had one in our truck.
I remember a story. We had a guy actually come over from Landstar Express America, and he was an expediter in the straight truck, and he come over to us, and we were just talking, he and I, and he was saying that telling me of a story. They did a load from out of Kentucky from the Mint or from Fort Knox, and there were 3 trucks backed up. It was Landstar and 2 other trucks. Maybe one was Panther. They all had to bump the dock simultaneously, and they were blind loaded, right? Nobody, all the skids matched weight, everything, right? But nobody knew who had the actual. And they were given routes to take, and each truck had decoys, like chase cars. Now, the truck with the currency had a helicopter also flying with it. Now, it was out of sight kind of thing, but it was there. Because he said that they happened to have the currency on their truck, and he stopped. It was he and his wife, and they stopped at a truck stop. And when you haul that freight, somebody has to stay in that truck. If you stop to get fuel or go in the convenience store to get a pack of nabs or whatever, somebody better stay in that truck. You both cannot go in. But they did that. They both went inside, and all of a sudden when they came out, he said their truck was surrounded by freaking FBI, SWAT. I mean, it was just like, and then the helicopter coming overhead. It was like, holy shit, we're all in there, guns drawn, and but with these panic buttons, with these high risk or high value cargo, go back to panic buttons. So if a driver's being hijacked or something happens, a robbery, you hit that damn panic button, and the cavalry comes quick, right?
Oh, you hope.
Well, I mean,
you hope, but I mean, there's got to be more. There's got to be more emphasis put on this. That, I mean, look what it's costing everybody in insurance premiums. It's costing drivers unnecessary money, because a lot of carriers charge the drivers back their insurance premiums.
They do.
A portion of the cargo insurance, which is
for owner operators.
In my opinion, that's bullshit. Well, I'm saying like our guys were all owner operators, but they were leased to us exclusively, right? But we didn't charge them back for our portion of our cargo insurance. That was on us to pay for. We didn't ding our guys for that, because that's just bullshit. But I know some of our competitors out there did do that.
Mm-hmm.
They charged,
and it is legal to do that.
Yeah, it is. I think it's wrong. It's bad business practice, because, I mean, my God, truckers aren't making enough money anyway, right? They're already, pinching pennies. So why are you going to ding them for other BS? So
you got to have work instructions. Like, for instance, I moved $1 million loads, right? And in the transportation contract, you basically have to put in to the driver, did you take a leak? Did you go to the bathroom? Or both of your tanks completely filled? You're not going to stop within 250 miles. All right. Never send the truck on the same route. Geofencing. Tell them that, if it bings, the cops are coming. No two ways about it. Once I get that, and I was moving a lot, and they were laptops, and they were very, very expensive laptops. It went to the CIA, government, fire department, police department, Secret Service, these kind of things where,
tough books.
Exactly.
What year was this?
Exactly what I moved. Very expensive, like $8,000. Some of them are anywhere between $4,000 to $8,000 a piece. And think how many of them you can put into a trailer, right? So, I mean, I only talked to one person. I never told anybody else what was going on. I had direct contact. I said, "You're going down this route?" Never. So the bad guys didn't know what was going. If they go down the same route, fenced-in yard, all different kinds of stuff. I mean, my list, I'm only mentioning a few. Never got ripped off. Never, ever.
What year was this?
What year was this? This is back in 2011.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's completely different these days. Nowadays, they contract with a broker. That broker finds the lowest ball carrier, and good luck.
I don't think there's enough people to give a shit. But the wrong people don't give a shit, meaning that the wrong people is the government. They need to start giving a shit. The insurance companies need to start giving a shit. The only people that give a shit are the people like us, right? Justin, John, the people who are like in the weeds and stuff with it. But there needs to be other people that give a shit.
It's an insane lack of imagination, because I think, fortunately for now, knock on wood, I think
drastically, if enough people if the right people got involved, cargo theft could get cut down pretty drastically.
Yeah. I think for now, at least like what we're seeing with like DoD freight and mail and whatnot, these guys, they're not trying to do anything malicious right now yet. I think they just want to haul the freight because it's easy freight, pays well, and everything's great. But it's a step in the wrong direction of, if I was a malicious bad actor and I wanted to get my hands on this freight to send it wherever I wanted, that's me getting my foot in the door. And it's like, that foot should never have been able to cross that threshold in the first place. You got to slam it shut, nail his foot to the floor, and as an example to the next person who wants to try that next time.
Right. Yeah.
And we're seeing that right now. So was it last week or the week before, there was this freight logistics conference for Department of War in Tampa, and a some guys there did like this big presentation. They used a bunch of stuff that Danielle, others, myself had dug up, and the reaction from the crowd. This is full of like military leadership. Was like, oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, sucks is happening. Are you guys going to do anything about it? No. It's just it's still insane to me. Like people always ask me like why aren't you trying to work with leadership? Why aren't you trying to do this? Like the leadership knows. They've known about this shit for years. Everyone's been howling at the moon saying, "Hey, please fix this. This is a problem." And because somebody hasn't driven a semi truck full of explosives into a school yet, nobody wants to do anything about it.
Right.
And it's until that happens, everyone's like, "Well, I guess everything's fine now."
They'd rather be reactive than proactive. So
Exactly.
it's pathetic. I mean, so I was given the number from travelers that it was last year when I was at that conference. I can't remember what the number was, but what is the overall number or ballpark of cargo theft in this country annually? It's in the billions, I know.
Tens of billions, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty big number. You think about that. It's a big number. And also,
Yeah.
it trickles down all the way to the consumer.
I know. I asked them to give you
all that money to the insurance companies.
I got to move.
So you're not muted. There you go.
Well,
Have a great day, guys. I got to go.
okay,
Thank you, Jeff.
See you.
all the money that the insurance companies kick out and pay out, they're going to push all that right back down the line. So
it's a type of inflation. All these like extra like any money that shippers, carriers, brokers, etc. think that they're saving, you're not really. The savings aren't there. The cost is still there. It's just spread out. It becomes an externality. Like if I'm a carrier and I hire a cheap unqualified driver, yeah, I'm paying that driver less per mile, but risks for accidents go up, my insurance premiums go up, like all the other costs rise as a result. And I don't know what businesses are just like they have their incentives completely backwards. They don't realize, okay, yeah, I'm paying more for this driver, but this is a good qualified driver, and I have less things to worry about going forward with this person behind the wheel.
So those insurance companies, they don't have the incentive to do more about cargo theft, because as long as they can keep paying out the claims or denying the claims or whatever they do, they can keep the premiums high and keep raking in the money. So it's
there's a really simple tool like a simple process insurance companies that they can go through right now, where it's find every single trucking company that you're covering and just verify whether they're lying to you about their truck fleet, because I guarantee you a lot of them are. That's a huge thing we see right now, where you look at a company's reported number of trucks and
the safer.
Yeah. So I've been chatting with this guy all week, where he has this carrier that he's been looking at, and it's like every 3-4 weeks they update their MCS 150, and their fleet count goes from like 30 trucks to 150 trucks, 870 trucks. They're jumping around.
Once they're paying their taxes and stuff like that, I mean, they're renewing. I don't know how they could fraudulently.
I think they're doing it because a lot of brokers and shippers won't work at a carrier unless they have a certain number of trucks. So if they're trying to like get a customer, and that customer
taxes and stuff, your actual fleet.
Yeah. So they'll lie about how many trucks they have to get that customer, and then any loads that they're given, if they don't have a truck to cover it, they'll just get somebody else in their network to do it.
Right. Yeah. No.
And you could slam that shut instantly by just saying, okay, what's the MC number of that carrier? Okay, type it into Gen Logs. This is exactly how many trucks they have.
Yeah.
I think the insurance companies right now are like the biggest, as far as like on the private sector solutions. I think the insurance companies are probably our best bet for fixing a lot of this shit happening right now. I hate saying it over and over again, but the only time I've ever seen a chameleon carrier network actually get stopped is when their insurance gets canceled and nobody wants to book freight with them.
True. Well, there's a lot of issues in the industry that's it's got to get have some work through, and a lot of changes that need to be made. There's no doubt about it, and it's just we just got to stay vigilant and keep preaching the gospel, and guys like you and John and others out there that are doing their part to bring awareness to it. Just stay in the fight. It's all we can do. But Anyway, I guess we need to wind this thing down because Pedro looks like he's got stuff to do. I think.
I mean, I've been doing stuff, bro. I mean, I use this I use this time to send prospecting emails. I mean, every week. I mean, I do it other times, but it's just perfect because I could just sit here and let you guys go on. And right now, I've been writing out some new emails, man. I did a webinar with Seamless. Shameless plug for those guys. Hey, if you don't use Seamless in your brokerage or even carriers, you don't use fucking Seamless, man, you are out. But really good webinar yesterday on email subject lines and body, bodies and all that stuff like that. So yeah, just doing that and sending out some test ones or whatever. So
when you send out prospect emails, are you trying to play it straight, or are you trying to get like a punchline in there to get them to click on it?
It honestly, it depends on how I feel that day, bro. Here is my biggest downfall as a salesperson. I will tell you, I'm the worst salesperson ever. I feel sorry for my boss in that sense because like I'm just not a good salesperson, but I'm a good fucking talker. But my biggest downfall is I'm direct. I don't do the fluff thing, bro. I don't do clicky things. I'm a direct person. Like I try to find a good subject line that says what I want, and I want you to click it. My emails are 2 or 3 sentences long. I straight tell you, hey, look, I'm busy. You're busy. I ain't trying to fucking waste your time. Here's what I got. Here's what I bring. You got time tomorrow at 4:15. That is one secret that I have always used. I learned from my boss. Don't ever say, when do you have time? Give them an exact day and time and say, do you have time tomorrow at 4:17 p.m.? You know what I mean? It sounds stupid, but they'll miss everything else in that email except that last line. The dumbest thing, but it works. But yeah, I don't know. It depends on my day, dude. Some days I'm funny. Some days, like, I'm really direct, and it also depends on the company, dude. If I'm emailing Shoe Carnival, I am not trying to tell Shoe Carnival, hey, I saved my person $5 per load. They don't give a fuck about that. My email line is, how do I get on with your next RFQ? Because that's what they do. They do bids. They don't give two shits about this other stuff. They care about your rate and the other things you're going to meet when they send everything out in May, November, whatever it is. So it's a dependent thing, man. I try not to use a one size fits all thing. I've learned that over my years, and it depends on my mood, dude. You know what I mean?
I like Josh's email subject line.
What's that?
Oh yeah,
Morning, Josh.
Truck Josh. So it's funny, dude. So funny you say that, man. The guy yesterday in this webinar was talking about that. He does that. He will use email subject lines to people like, oh, the truck broke down. And he was like, and when you open it, it's you talking about, hey, like, had this truck break down yesterday on a load, and here's what I did to fix the problem. He was like, he's like, it is baity. He's like, because they're going to click on it. He said, but when you open it up, he's like, you're not, there really is a point to it. And I was like, dude, that's fucking genius, bro. That is genius. So,
I think too, the trying to write something in a way that, you actually wrote it yourself. You didn't just have some chatbot like crank it out for you.
Yeah.
I think having little human touches like that are super important going forward because we're in an arms race against just an onslaught of unlimited content being churned out right now, and you as like a real person need to be able to stick out amongst the crowd.
I will say this. So I do use AI for ideas. I never copy and paste into an email. Like I will hey, write me a funny prospecting email using my brand Pedro Potato, and it'll write me something, and it's always something I would never ever say, but it's like, oh, that is pretty fucking funny, and you just move a few words and stuff around. And I will use this in my defense. I've got a brain injury, bro, so like it is really hard for me to just honestly sometimes think. Period.
Oh, marriage.
I mean, Spencer, you spent time, dude. You know how factual that is. So anyway, AI is a really good tool for me because it helps my creative juices get flowing. Believe it or not, I use it as honestly. Maybe I'm fucking weird. I talk to it like a friend. Like when I'll do stuff, it'll be like, I'm like, no. Take this out, put this back, and do this, and send it to me the right way. And like I have whole fucking conversations with this thing, man.
Yeah, and I'm not anti-AI. I use AI all the time, but you can't use it to create content for you. It's good for spitballing ideas and brainstorming, etc. But
content, none of that ever is 1,000%. That's all original, but emails. And
I've taken my entire it's like 26 gigabytes of every tweet that I've ever made since like my first day of having that account. You can go into your account settings, download all of your Twitter data, and I've just dumped that into every LLM that I can get my hands on, and I tell it, okay, learn exactly how I write, and then start cranking out posts for me. And every single one of them is dog shit. They sound nothing like me. It just sounds exactly like a chatbot. And you see that with a lot. And I'm not naming names. This is a lot of people doing this. Where you've been following somebody for years, you know how they talk, you've met them in person, and then as soon as they get their hands on an LLM and they realize, oh, I can just write a prompt and it spits out 6 paragraphs for me every day. They just don't sound like a real person anymore. It's like an invasion of the body snatchers at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that I use one AI and one AI only, well, primarily. And my son gives me shit. He's like, Dad, you're such an old person, Gemini. And you want to know why I use Gemini?
Well, Gemini's the best out there right now. They're the most advanced.
Hold on. Well, maybe Apple for you. I don't know how Apple works, but I'm about to give you my reason.
No, Gemini, Google's more advanced than anybody.
No, well, hold on. I'm about to I don't care how. It's not that. I'm going to tell you exactly why here in a second. If you'll shut up, Spencer.
I'm so sorry. See, we had this planned where we had this little skit. We kind of.
I love Spencer, man. I'm a Samsung guy, man. Android is all I want to say. So my whole life is connected via my Google. I don't log into anything with passwords. Everything is through my Google profile, right? So Gemini is Google. It has everything about me. Everything. It knows everything. All my emails. It sees how I type things out. Exactly what Justin was just saying is why I use it, is because you have to teach AI. And I watched a video on this, and it was saying, if you're going to use an AI, try to use the same one for everything, so it gets to know you, how you talk, how you type. It learns your profiles, and so it generates more authentic things for you. So that's why I use Gemini, because it does. I mean, it literally is connected to all my stuff, and when it writes things out like Pedro Potato, dude, it sees all the things that I write out about myself. Or when I say, I did one the other day, I said, hey, use my position as the co-host of the Logistics Lounge as a value driver for a prospect that needs logistic services. And it spit me out 5 different things about recent episodes that we did. And it said, you talked about this, this, and this. This would be a great thing to bring up next time you talk to a customer. And I was like, fuck. I mean, how can I pick that one moment out of 4 hours of show, and this thing did it in 45 seconds and picked out one specific moment on my channel and said, I would talk about this if I were you. This is a trending topic in logistics. That's crazy.
I guess it's because I don't write a lot of long form content, but even Gemini, when I give it all of my Twitter data, it still just cranks out just like boring AI slop. Now, Gemini is the greatest of all time, the absolute GOAT for image generation right now. I can't even begin to describe you. It's so good. I can copy and paste a photo into it and say, change the outfit this person is wearing to X, Y, and Z, and it's perfect. It's perfect every single time. The Duolingo tweet that I just did today, I just went on Google, searched Duolingo mascot. It pulled up this photo of some guy wearing the mascot bird in Times Square. So I pasted that into Gemini, and I said, change the background of this image to a trucking school set in a parking lot with cones and trucks in the background, and give the guy a high-vis vest and a clipboard, and it nailed it. Just perfect.
I like it. I like Gemini.
You should ask him to do a mascot for Pedro. He need, like Mr. Potato.
It already did. You want to see it?
Oh no, yeah, I'd love to see it,
bro.
Well, see that's where it gets tricky. Trying to have it generate stuff.
Mascot for you to make T-shirts with that stuff, dude.
Yeah, having it create something whole cloth out of nothing just from a prompt is tricky, because it still has like that tint of like AI thing.
That's how I did this one.
Taking something that already exists and dumping it in and telling it alter this to do whatever you want, it gets that perfect.
Oh yeah.
That shit's perfect, isn't it, J-Mark?
I'd get a hat, bro. I'd wear that.
Dude.
That's great.
Tell me that is dude. If you think of a Pedro Potato, to me, this is what you fucking think of in your head, bro.
I know that guy. His name is Bobby, and he used to drive at Beam Brothers Trucking with me.
Dude, this is Gemini, but look how good it is. Even the reflection in the shades is crisp, bro. And the graphics.
The text on the truck, Road King, you can actually read that.
Dude, I changed it. It when it first did it, it said something else, and I was like, I was like, I don't know what I told it, but it came up. I said, give me different options for the name on the side of the truck, and it did Road King. I was like, oh yeah, cool, I like that one. So
Now you
I
see,
wouldn't
okay,
Potato Express though.
That looked good.
you,
on
you
the
see
front.
you see how it still had like everything's a little too smooth and kind of
Yeah.
rubbery and plastic and stuff.
Yeah.
That's because it generated it from a prompt. If you were to take like a stock photo of a semi
yeah.
and then put like a clip art of a photo of a potato on it, and then copy paste that into Gemini and tell it what you wanted, the image it creates from that is going to look even better than,
Dude,
than
honestly,
the one you just showed.
I only wanted the potato. Here's the funny part about this. Every time I gave it the prompt to make my potato character that I was looking for, it always put the background as like a fucking farm. And it was just this weird looking potato. So I said, change the background to a truck and give me a trucker-esque look to the
Yeah,
potato
little scratch
character.
on
And
the
that's what it
potato.
spit out, bro. Like, so like that's, when it did that, I was like, I'm gonna just leave it alone.
I'm gonna
But yeah,
I'm gonna
the
go.
whole cartoony look and everything. Like, I've since gotten better though. You can upload a bunch of images and say I need, tell I want it to this type of texture, blah 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 blah. It's fun. I
Yeah.
like Gemini. It's the best thing. Anyway, Justin, final comments since you're about to talk. Say what you're going to say, and then close it down with your final comments.
I was just saying I'm going into Canva right now, and I'm gonna make this for you just to showcase how easy it is.
There's an Adobe.
I won't do it on the
like
show here.
Canva.
I'll send it to you later.
Adobe's is trash too. Theirs is like absolute crap.
Justin,
I've tried
send it to
many
me too on
times.
my email. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah,
'Cause I've got Canva. I want to know how to work that a little bit better in that and Gemini, like you're talking about.
Dude, you know what you do with the there's even tricks. I'll tell you this after we get off. There's tricks. This is how I'm learning AI, and I will tell you, you literally ask AI to teach you how to work AI. I watched a whole video on this. It's an elderly guy. He's in his like 60s, and he's teaching himself AI prompting, and he uses AI to teach him AI prompting. He's like, hey, I want to create an image like this. He's like, write me a prompt to create this. And then he does it, and then he learns the prompt, and then he tells it, tweak the prompt to do. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's so crazy how AI would teach you how to use itself. I mean, it's kind of weird. John, what you got for me, bro?
Well, of course, it's Thursday, so TikTok Diner. We've got John Larenton, who's going to be on our show today. That is at noon Eastern, so be sure to check us out. That's on our YouTube and our the Freight Fraud Task Force's LinkedIn as well. So be sure to check that out. We're going to be talking a lot about warehousing and what warehouses can do to stop fraud.
Love it. Super Trucker, we just made a videos about truckers versus deer. It's comedy.
My 15 years of driving, I've only hit 2 deer. One slammed in the side of my trailer, bounced off, never to be seen again. But the other one, I was in Utah, and it was like a tiny little pissant deer. It brand new truck. We had that thing 3 weeks and just clobbered the ever living shit out of our next chrome bumper. We were
Damn it.
not too happy with that. Watch out for those damn things. They're a fucking menace.
Oh
They
yeah,
are, bro. I've
can
never hit
be.
a deer, but I've had like 2 or 3 deer hit me.
Can you imagine people that hit mooses?
Oh,
Like
I've seen the aftermath
mountain.
of that in Colorado.
Yeah.
I saw the aftermath of that.
That's
crazy, bro.
devastating to a truck.
It was a Kenworth that hit it too.
A
On the
big
way to
elk
Monte
or something
Vista.
like that.
I'll never forget it. Picking up, we were all going to pick up potatoes. It was like 10 of us, man, all going up there. And the guy in the lead, man, was just at dusk. And a big ass moose came around the corner. Like, wow.
Oh yeah.
And fucked his truck. But again, things weigh what, 1,500 pounds? What you
yeah.
got for us, Spence?
Just appreciate the love everybody's giving Road Dog Coffee and the orders, and everybody go to roaddogcoffee.com, and hopefully soon we'll get. I know we've been talking about getting a cigar website. We're waiting, for the wonderful, bureaucrats to make it happen. There was some hold up, but also the hat. Anybody who's like curious about that hat, it says Mud Flaps right there because everything we do is trucking centric, right? And we promote trucking and things that were nostalgic in trucking. That's a famous, image right there. The Mud Flap girl. I had a friend of mine's girlfriend was pulling in our complex here the other day, and she's like, "What is on your hat?" And I'm like, "You've never seen that image?" She goes, looked at it, and she goes, "Oh my God, yeah, I think I have seen that. Yeah, on the back of Mud Flaps, right?" So promote the hat. Hopefully they'll go online and we'll get some, people can buy them or something, Just promoting the brand, promoting trucking. You know, everything that has to do with trucking, keeping it out there.
And can you get that hat yet? I'm sorry.
No, well, I mean, it's gonna go online though soon. Yeah, we can get it.
You need to. I'm gonna make one before you and put it up there.
No, you're not.
I'm not. Justin, you just gotta leave it. You just gotta leave
Great.
it.
So I just did that like I just did that like 2 minutes in Canva. Now I have Gemini.
Oh my god!
See it?
Everybody can't see it. Oh my god! This is so funny.
Oh, this is good.
Text it
This
to me.
is so good.
Text it over to me. I want to see it. I'm gonna have Justin start doing stuff for me on Canva. You know, for like social media posts for Road Dog Coffee.
Yeah, I want to see what you get it to look like. Oh, here, okay, you just sent it to me. I want to see Justin. Oh my god! Oh, I love the kicks though. The kicks are dope. Give me some nice.
Yeah,
ass, like,
but see now they're getting the photo, the truck in the background. That's a real stock image. Oh yeah, let me just throw a.
Just go ahead and share it.
yeah, sure. That's funny. That's
Hold
funny.
on,
I'm feeling
sure.
left out here. It was texted to me.
Oh my god, that's funny. Well, what I've got to say while we wait for Justin to pull these up, well, I'll just talk while he's got them. While he's pulling them up, that's fucking. Show him the first one, bro. The first one's better. I honestly would totally use the first one, dude. Totally would use the first one. But yeah. So let me see what we got. Tomorrow. We holy crap! I am completely drawing a blank. Oh,
Well, let me
Logistics
do
Lounge.
the.
Chad Ainsworth with PMA Logistics coming on. If you
Chad's
have
good
been
beat.
watching this show since the beginning, you'll remember Chad because there used to be 3 people in the Logistics Lounge. A lot of folks don't know that. There used to be 3 hosts, and tomorrow our old third host is going to come on and hang out with us. We're going to catch up, just have a few drinks and have a good time. So make sure you watch that tomorrow. I love that one. That's the one right there, dude. That's the one.
I cranked this out real quick in Canva, just using the elements here. I type in what I want, find some clip art, dump it in, just copy paste that into Gemini, and I said make this guy photorealistic, and then boom, nails it.
That's funny right there. I like that. Anyway, 4 p.m. Central, 5 Eastern, and I think that's all I got, dude. I don't think there's anything else going on, right?
Yeah, just check us out next Thursday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah.
9:05 really, but 9
yeah.
o'clock.
9. Well, no, it's 9-ish, bro. 9-ish. Could be 9:02, 9:05, 9 fucking 10.
Yeah,
Dude, it's
we're
9-ish.
gonna start fine tuning the Road Dog Coffee podcast and getting it a little more organized and get some good guests on here and stuff that we can just nail and hound and annihilate.
I love all those choice words you just used there.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to get when you come on the Road Dog Coffee podcast.
Right.
Just be prepared for
I
it.
just watched Imaginary Football League's video here. They did the same mistake that a lot of AI prompts do, is because of the training data that these models are given. If you are very vague with the description of the truck, the first thing it's going to spit out is a European cab over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch it. All right,
Yeah.
so, hey, with that, I'm going to just do the, oh, shit, I can't copy paste it. Fuck it, I'll find it soon. All right, everybody, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Go to roaddogcoffee.com, buy some freaking coffee. Go to logisticsloungeshow.com, buy some hats, buy some shirts, do all the follow stuff and all those things, share, and we'll see everybody next Thursday. That's it. Bye-bye.